Yo, what up? All right, so taking a look here, my guy Tyler Glasnow, just taking just a few key points from this delivery. Not going to try to overcomplicate this one bit. I just want you to notice head. Notice how, as throughout this whole entire delivery, although it's a pretty violent delivery, his head's going to remain neutral. It's going to remain calm. His eyes are going to be still, right? Controlling the chaos. All right, so throughout this whole entire delivery, just focusing on the head. Right, so it gives us a pretty good idea of the head. I'm really big on just controlling that, right? Like your eyes are extremely important in the delivery, and if you try to, like, this is the whole argument with like intent. If we're constantly intent, sometimes, more oftentimes than not, what could start happening is we start yanking the head early, we start holding a lot of tension, the neck gets all jacked up, and so on and so forth. So the next thing that I want to talk about is the rhythm that he's promoting, right? So as soon as he lifts his leg, you're going to see the hands climb, and then as soon as the descending move, you're going to see the hands drop, all in session with like this lead leg. Watch. Whoop. Whoop. And now we're going to do the same thing on the drop. So now what this does, it's just a timing mechanism, right? There's a couple different timing mechanisms you can use. I think this one is probably the most common in regards to like when you're separating your hands, getting the hand out on time. Now as he starts his drive phase, boom, coming through. Notice how these are going to be continuously matching plane, right? And now they're going to match as he goes into his throw, right? See how that works from boom, boom. Consistency at ball release, right? And then the next thing, even though you can't see it at front foot strike, just notice the amount of leverage that he gets, right? We talk about like leveraging this throwing arm. So we see where his hips are, and now say he's touched down, right? So say he's at front foot strike, right there. Notice how, I mean, look at this, right? Pretty crazy amounts of stretch right there, right? So now this is the leveraging part of his body. So he creates that rotational energy, lets it go, and the hips complete their rotation, which then brings the trunk through, and then the trunk rotation is going to now bring the arm through. Now, something else to notice is his trunk rotation leads into now trunk flexion, right? So which brings his arm, that's how he gets his pull down factor, like his perceived velocity is like the highest of all time because he gets so much extension. Has to do with his ability to get into trunk flexion as he brings his arm through, right? And now you can see that he's able to accelerate his arm because he gives his arm so much time to decelerate, right? So his trunk is able to keep rotating to buy his arm more time for his decel pattern. Lead leg stable. There's that finish. Complete drive leg force being transferred. No room left. That's the byproduct. Fielding position. All right. So again, taking notes. The hand rhythm, pendulum, right? Pendulum. Now we're going to drop. See his direction. So that's what we talked about earlier in the earlier view, right? The crazy amounts of separation. I mean, look at that. It's like, look at his shoulders here and his hips right here. Leads to a little contralateral tilt. He's definitely cleaned that up. But then he's able to pull it through, right? So this is that whole pulling sensation, and then into trunk rotation and flexion right there. And he's able to stabilize all of that. Whoa. Wow. in that lead leg. And look at that decel pattern. Little bend in the elbow. Beautiful. See, his trunk doesn't stop. He doesn't throw, and his trunk doesn't like stop and pop up. He just keeps on going, so his trunk's going to keep this rotation, which is going to buy his arm even more time to decelerate, right? Dope. All right, guys. I think I have a full breakdown on Glasnow. He was on a podcast. You guys can go check that out on my website, therobbyrowshow.com, or just on the YouTube channel. It should be on there as well. So if any requests, if you got any more requests for who I should be breaking down and so on and so forth, shoot me comments. Until then, your boy's out. God bless. See ya.